Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division Qualifiers. I'm Arrow, I'll be your caster tonight, and we're going to get into the semifinals of the, I think this is the third qualifier. Anyways, it's for Season 3, anyways, the Storm Division Qualifier, and we got a matchup between a couple of really quality teams here. It's going to be We Are Farmers versus ReGen. She just cannot stop. Come here. Relax. That would be my good friend Alice saying hello, everybody out there in NGS Twitch land. All right, so we've got our map information. We've got our standings. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you first real quick here. So this is the breakdown of the bracket. There were a few other teams that were in an initial round prior to this. But my overlay doesn't work all the way to those. So we're just going to see the 8 teams that ultimately fed into the 4 we have now. So we saw We Are Farmers versus Strange Team Comp. We can see that 2-0 brought them here, and then ReGen 2-0 over Vendetta. So that's the match we're going to start with here tonight. In the lower half of the bracket there, Can't Censorship 2-1 over Phoenix Rising Esports. And Storm Academy lost to Error 404. So Error 404 and Can't Censorship going to be cast by Taco over there, I believe, on NGS 2. And then once we are done with the semifinals, we'll have the finals right here. So Taco will bring everybody over here, and we'll go through that. And our maps, so checking those out. We had the bans coming from We Are Farmers on Dragonshire and Garden of Terror. For ReGen, they banned out Alterac and Braxis Holdout. So our first map selected by our blue team, We Are Farmers. And looks like we might actually be just about ready to go. See that at least one team is ready to go, so we may actually get right into this game here pretty quickly, which you know, that's always nice. Sometimes there are some delays and it causes things to take a little bit longer, but other times you get teams and they are right ready to go as they are. So here we go, going to Battlefield of Eternity for game number 1 between We Are Farmers and ReGen. And don't forget, you can !Matcherino to contribute to this season's Storm Division prize pool. Might even have a mod to do that, to show that. I don't know if I have mods here. But our first selection here coming up from ReGen. And this is interesting. I've noticed this was We Are Farmers. They got the selection and chose map pick, and I've seen a lot more lately that that teams are looking for that map pick and winning when they have map pick. So it's kind of interesting to see as the game evolves. Not that long ago, first pick was really a top priority. Stukov going to be the first to be banned here, and of course Stukov seeing a lot of play, a lot of value with that silence, and then the change to some of his early level talents, giving him some more flexibility. And of course, last week we did see a little bit of an adjustment to some of the heroes out there in the Nexus. So we'll see how much of those changes have any, if any of them have any effect on today's game here. And Hanzo going to be the first ban for We Are Farmers. And there goes the Stitches as well. Stitches recently saw some adjustments, fairly recently, a little while ago, I guess, at this point. Hey, Shy, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Zagara going to be the last ban of the first round here. And I'm typing everybody's names in here because I forgot to do that when they were in the lobby. I think I got it all right. Hopefully the A's and the O's are correct because they look very similar in the draft. But our first pick, gonna be a Nubarak. And that is that's a strong showing for the beginning here, getting the tank out there. And of course, the Nubarak is really a very mage, an anti-mage tank, but he's also got some really solid CC with the Burrow Charge, with his Impale, and of course, Cocoon. But we're going to get some race out of the Greymane, and Dahaka going to be the solo laner here, presumably anyways, for We Are Farmers. Shai, as the sole person talking tonight in the NGS Twitch chat, who are you here to root for? Anybody in particular? Any heroes you want to see? Li Ming and Anduin, so a good combination there. It's not uncommon to see Li Ming paired with an Uberak, for one, because she can fairly easily disintegrate a Cocoon, but also with all of that CC potential. I mean, who wouldn't want to send some Seeker missiles or a full Li Ming combo of missiles plus orb plus teleport into somebody who's stunned for several seconds, or, you know, coming right out of a Cocoon. Anduin can also contribute to that CC chain, whether it's a Burrow with a Light Bomb, or the Roots coming in to follow up. Maybe a little stun action at level 20 as well. And Zeratul going to be the third and final ban here for We Are Farmers. Zagara and Asmo. Well, you're not going to see Zagara today, at least not on this game. Maybe in one of the one of the follow-up games. And Asmodan. I mean, maybe. Anything's possible, right? I can't remember if I think Asmo got very slightly nerfed in the most recent patch. Just a really small amount. Just enough to say that it was done, right? Just enough to say, yeah, okay, we fiddled with Asmo a little bit. Reduced his damage from his Siege Grunts, I think is what it did. Garrosh going to be banned out. So last ban for the ban phases here. Going to get a Blaze main tank and couple it with Tyrande. Tyrande, one hero that did see quite the adjustment here, and I'm really interested to see how this plays out on Battlefield of Eternity. Basically, I mean, I would think this would be probably Tyrande's most important map. Really strong with the Hunter's Mark to be able to bring down that additional damage on the Immortals. You've got multiple CCs here. You got Blaze AoE stun, Dahaka with his drag. So a lot of different ways that you can enable Tyrande with her stuns. On the other side, though, we're going to get the Hogger from Ultanian and Sylvanas. Both of these really potentially very strong heroes here. Sylvanas can help push with the Immortal and get extra value that you might not have been able to get by shutting down that tower. And then, of course, Hogger says, hey, I'm unstoppable to all that stuff you want to do. Getting into the back of the team, isolating heroes, putting down loot hordes, blocking them, and the Zul'jin. And Zul'jin is a really strong pick into that Anubarak. Anubarak doesn't have a lot of defenses against the auto attack auto attacks. And so even though he does get that shielding, and that shielding gives him spell armor for a period of time, that doesn't help him very much against somebody like the Zul'jin or the Greymane. So a lot of race potential between Greymane and Zul'jin, along with that Hunter's Mark from Tyrande on the side of We Are Farmers. But that's the end of our draft here. We're going to get into game number 1 between We Are Farmers on the left and ReGen on the right. All right, game getting loaded here. Hopefully we're on the right server, the right half of the world. All right, we'll get started on the left here. We've got We Are Farmers. We're going to have 0 on the Zul'jin. Hashmir on Greymane. Oh, was that a change? Did they change that? Nope, they didn't. We got Blaze played by Call Me. We've got Dahaka played by Popo Joe. And I'm missing somebody. Taronda is going to be back in a moment here. Oh, you know what? It's a server thing, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Just see what they said. We are on Western. Yep. Yep. I knew it. I knew it. I was like, they're probably gonna check that. Always got to have at least one. So that's okay. No worries. We've seen our draft. We know what it looks like. We know where this is going. We've got the full race comp here out of We Are Farmers, and then, you know, a little bit of kind of anti-CC in that Hogger and even a Nubarak to a certain degree. But the big blow-up potential between the Sylvanas and Li Ming, if they can ever get anybody locked down for just the briefest moment. Taronda does offer point and click heals. She has some cleanse later in the game, but she doesn't have a true actual cleanse. So you've got Blaze, who can potentially go unstoppable. You've got Dahaka, who can burrow. So I mean, there are ways for them to avoid the CC chain combination that could lead to their death. All right. Hopefully, this means we're going into the game. We have all but one ready here. We are 1, 2, 3 people needed ready up, and we're ready to go. Just double checking to make sure that whoever made the game is actually on the eastern side. That way we don't have West Coast awkwardness again. And here we go. Game is loading. We'll get back into that in just a moment. Guess I can write these down now. All right, here we go. All right. So I started on the left last time. We're on the right this time, so we'll start on the right. On the right, we've got ReGen. It's going to be Albatox on the Li Ming. Splash on the Anduin there. Flyest Raven going to be playing the Sylvanas. We got Aragonas on a Nubarak, and Ultanian going to be playing that Hogger. And off to the left, We Are Farmers. Kurakami there on the Taronda. We got Hashmir on Greymane, Zero on the Zul'jin, Call Me on the Blaze, and Popo Joe on the Dahaka. I gotta just point out this toy skin of Dahaka's here from the winter event 2 winters ago. Don't think that's the specific color that I use, but I do like that overall skin. It is a fun skin to have there. All right, so taking a look at the talents. So we've got Dahaka going into Dark Swarm. Now, keep in mind, one of the changes that he received was actually that he does more damage to minions and monsters with Dark Swarm up. Up in the top, though, Ultanian fighting off against the Greymane and Dahaka. So we'll see if there's a rotation, which it looks like Li Ming's going to come in to try to help defend against this. And that leaves Blaze, Anduin, and Sylvanas down here in the bot lane. Sylvanas just staying out of sight there for a moment. And ideally, they want to try to avoid giving Zul'jin too many stacks here, especially in the early game. Make it harder for him to build up that auto attack damage, but also getting the additional procs out of his early trait. Zul'jin getting a little damage into the wall, but caught by the root. And with that Sylvanas, a lot of damage going out onto Zero. But he's able to regenerate that pretty well. So just a little damage there. About half of that first tower in the bot. And we see Hogger already working on that top siege camp as Zul'jin and Toronto doing the same down below. So we'll see 1 for 1 in just a moment. Blaze, though, getting a lot of damage there. Does have here the new habits. So that'll give him unstoppable when he completes enough of the healing globes. But check this out. Oh man, that could, if they were just a few seconds earlier, that could have been a dead Zul'jin, possibly a camp steal. Greymane coming down trying to help as well. That gives a little bit of flexibility now to the Li Ming and Hogger combo up in the top lane. And the drag pulling in that siege minion just to make sure that it gets in range of the tower, trying to get that down. Burrow used by Dahaka, the burrow charge to get, I'm sorry, not Dahaka, by Anub'arak to make sure that he avoided that jet propulsion from the Blaze. And again, both of these teams have really strong CC potential. And the burst coming out of them, I mean, Greymane and Zul'jin a little bit less so in the early game, but definitely in the later game could put out quite a bit of damage in that few seconds of stun between a jet propulsion and a drag from Dahaka. Shaman camps going out on both sides almost at the same time here. Li Ming walking right into Dahaka. And no drag there. The jukes coming out. But it looks like right now We Are Farmers looking to get anything they can out of the siege camp they have in the bot lane. Jet propulsion coming in. There's that double stun. And the Leap of Faith coming out to keep Sylvanas alive. But one tower already down, make it two. And the wall. That is absolutely huge for them. Meanwhile, ReGen right above. Hogger just bouncing back and forth, going hog wild on the enemy Immortal. Gonna stay a little bit too long. And that'll be first blood going over to We Are Farmers, getting that kill out onto the Hogger. Li Ming trying to poke from over the wall just to finish that halftime, and it looks like they should get it here in just a moment. Blaze, however, getting stunned from the Anub'arak, but no real follow-up. Everybody just too far away to make that happen. Halftime procced in favor of ReGen. Sylvanas going to use that Haunting Wave to zip away from the Dahaka right into that light well. Get a little healing there. And the race is on. We're going to see We Are Farmers coming in, trying to defend what they can. Jet propulsion out onto Hogger. Going to get that Lunar Flare as well, but Ultanian with the Hog Wild is going to be able to avoid the stun at least. But the race is still going here. Jet propulsion onto Hogger. The Leap of Faith to keep him out. Level 7's here as well for We Are Farmers. Hogger trying to finish off the Immortal. Is going to get it just in time there. Going to trade his life for it though. And that Immortal will come into the bot lane. We see there the possession coming from Sylvanas, flipping a couple of those minions over to the red team, giving them a little bit more siege potential. But before the Immortal gets here, so they're going to be cleared up pretty quickly here. And both teams have level 7, but a slight XP advantage over to We Are Farmers. And good evening, Kat. Good to see you. Thanks for coming and watching. Appreciate it. Now this has to be known. Tyrande sends out the owl. We see that going by there. And with the Beatles, with Sylvanas, split pushing away from the Immortal now. Anduin, though, entirely by himself, is going to get caught by Blaze. Lunar Flare is going to come out, and that's going to be another kill. We Are Farmers getting their third kill of the game. And just to check for... Let's see where it kills at. Where are kills at? There we go, kills. Okay, so one apiece. No hat trick today. Both teams gonna work on their siege camps, top and bottom, sending that out. But this has so far been a little bit more valuable for the side of We Are Farmers. Zul'jin sitting at 8 out of 30 stacks, so halfway is when he gets that additional auto attack range. On the quest to level 10. We Are Farmers just a little bit ahead of ReGen right now, about a half a level. But that's gonna give them a lot of flexibility. If they can get that here pretty soon, they can go right in onto the fort. Great, absolutely fantastic chastise there from Anduin, making sure to get that route out onto the Blaze, so the jet propulsion did not lock down that Anub'arak. If that jet propulsion hits, Anub'arak is toast. And there are the level 10s for We Are Farmers. So this fort is gonna take a bit of damage here. But instead of going for the fort, We Are Farmers is gonna pull back, Gonna send out their Shaman camp here so that that's in the lane, pushing down that fort while they work on the Immortal. So that should be coming up here soon. Same thing from ReGen. They're gonna work on the Shaman camp. I think that's far more important for them because they really need to get that level 10. They need the XP out of this Shaman camp and whatever they can get out of top lane as well. And with their advantage, We Are Farmers is going to push down the Immortal as quickly as they can here, get as much value out of this with that Greymane, Zul'jin, Tyrande as they can. And they're going to push halftime very quickly. And they know they can do it freely because ReGen doesn't have their level 10s. But now they do. And we're back on equal footing. And both teams have Shaman camp going in each lane and no wall. So it's pretty similar. Sylvanas may get a slight advantage of that with that possession. So we'll see. We'll have to compare how that turns out as already the camp gone and ReGen coming to defend. Jet propulsion out onto the Anubrag. He's going to use that burrow charge to get the unstoppable and away. Dahaka still working on this, is now finished. So ReGen coming in on the offensive, but they don't have a lot of time. Dahaka in theory could use his dig to get here pretty quickly. His Brush Stalker. In fact, there he is right now, coming in behind, gonna get the isolation out onto Hogger. The light bomb onto Hogger, though, is gonna stall out that potential kill there, and Hogwild gonna get him out just in time, but now Anduin's in danger, and he's gonna get taken out. Zul'jin gonna finish that kill. And ReGen just took a little bit too long, but they're looking for that blaze very, very low, but the damage is so far back, they could not go in. They don't have enough health. Between Li Ming and Sylvanas, they're sitting at about 20% health each. They could not follow up on that burrow charge from Anubrag. So that's going to give the second Immortal here over to We Are Farmers, and they're going to march that down in the top lane. May even be able to take down this fort before the Immortal gets here. They've got a pretty good wave coming. And Greymane, Zul'jin, Dahaka down in the bottom lane, is not going to have his Brush Stalker to be able to get up here at least soon. Probably about another 20-30 seconds or so for that. But they'll still be able to secure this first fort of the game overall. And Dahaka versus... We'll just check in on this real quick here. Still fairly even, both of them about half health. But Dahaka pushing a little bit farther forward has a talent advantage now as well. Shield finally down on the Immortal. But this wall, this keep wall, going down very quickly. Both towers down. Immortal sitting at half health. And I'm not sure how much more they get out of this. The Immortal's almost dead. Mind Control went out from the Sylvanas, but not able to get that kill out onto Blaze. Greymane coming down into the bottom lane. Maybe looking to sneak in on the Hogger, but looks like just a little bit too long of a rotation for Greymane to make it there and get that kill. Dahaka's going to go ahead and Hearth away. Just in time. And that's going to give now top lane. Once again, we've got the siege camp coming up, except this time we're flipping the script. Red went bottom, blue went top, and why not? I mean, We Are Farmers says, hey, we can get a free keep out of this. Jet propulsion there getting caught on the loot horde. Big stun out onto the Greymane. The bunker going to come out to protect against that light bomb, though. Shockwave onto Zul'jin, the knockback as well, but Taz Dingo coming in. Hogwild trying to get Ultanian out. Anubrag going in, does get that combination from Li Ming, but not enough. The knockback from Hogger. But once again, Sylvanas is going to fall there in the bottom lane to the Dahaka. And ReGen on the back foot. They're down a talent. They just got that talent now, so they're on even talents, but they're still down that Sylvanas. And they've got to find a way to be able to get these kills worked out. The burrows, the stun combos are great, but they're not where they need to be. Or rather, the DPS isn't where they need to be able to follow up on it. But looks like we're going to go right in. Burrow charge coming in. They're going to sneak away that Shaman camp. So a little bit of XP for them there. Going in blind, didn't quite have the opportunity to see who they could have caught, but you know what? If Anubarak catches a stun on a target there, they're dead. I mean, Li Ming and Sylvanas would have been able to quite easily delete that target from this game anyways. The Shaman Camp working on the core here is going to get taken out, so just the one catapult, that'll be fine. And the race is back on. ReGen ahead quite a bit in this race. So they'll get the third immortal. They're gonna have to clear up the lane here. These catapults already. Check out the core health here. Shielding almost gone, so Sylvanas using the possession to flip that. That'll send out in the top lane, and now Hogger trying to catch them up. Once again, down that talent here, 16 to 14. 2 levels. That's of course additional scaling, health damage, healing, all of that. And it looks like, just like we saw with the first immortal, Sylvanas is heading up to push in on the fort. Not really sure what we're seeing now. I guess they're gonna wait for the rotation. Li Ming's in danger though. Is gonna use that wave of force, and isolation coming out just a little bit too late. That looks like one of those where the ability seems to get queued up when you get knocked away and you can't stop it. Probably the most irritating example of that is Garrosh, pretty much every ability. Alright, ReGen gonna get a fort here. Trade a little bit of damage onto their keep wall. Li Ming, though, putting out that damage right into Greymid. And I'm not sure this gets better the later the game goes for ReGen here. This is looking really strong for We Are Farmers. Zul'jin's sitting at 19 stacks, so he hasn't quite been able to really get the stacks he wants to keep this up. But 19 gives him the auto attack range, so he doesn't have the double cleave, twin cleave, but he does have that auto attack range. And going after that top camp, we may very, yeah, I was gonna say, we're gonna see the rotation coming down, trying to open up the lane here. If We Are Farmers goes in, there's not much they can do, right? The keep's already down, so they're not likely to take a core. They could do a lot of damage to it, but they'd run the risk of potentially, you know, running into a brick wall with the core mechanics as well. So ReGen gonna be able to pick up 16 here in just a moment. The question is, how does this work out for them on the race? Level 16s on both teams. We Are Farmers has Greymane, Zul'jin, Tyrande. I feel like if you're racing, this goes over to the left. We'll see. It does look like that is the case, and not by a small amount. 10-15% or so difference there in favor of We Are Farmers. Hogger trying to clear up that lane, and the Immortals on the defensive position here. So if you're ReGen, this is the best thing you could possibly hope for. Especially that right there with a massive mind control. The big stunts coming out. Can they secure the kill on the Blaze? They get the double kill with the Tyrande in there as a bonus. And that's what ReGen needs to be able to get back into this game. We Are Farmers was looking really strong right up until that exact moment when the mind control hits, and New Habits does not protect you if you're already under a CC effect. So Blaze just a little bit behind on that, and they've got 26 seconds until they can get their heroes back. Mind control coming out onto the Haka. He cannot die here. Oh no. The Shaman Camp coming as well as the Immortal. Dahaka's out of it at this point. He might be up for the core defense, so we'll see how much ReGen can get out of this. We Are Farmers have been looking really strong. If they can get any CC comboed between Blaze and Tyrande, they might be able to get a pick and turn this around. There's the shutdown from Sylvanas with the Black Arrows. Light Bomb coming in is going to secure the stun out onto Blaze. Is going to get that bunker off, though. Zul'jin just trying to get the Immortal down. Tyrande getting caught by the Chastise is able to make it out just in the nick of time. However, Hashmir diving in, trying to get the damage out onto the Li Ming, I think it was. But the kill coming out from Anubarak, the Immortal sitting at about 80% of its health still, and not a ton of pressure. Zul'jin trying to stall out anything that he can in the heroes, but it's not going to matter. That's going to be game number 1, going over to ReGen. What a finish! That was insane. Watching that match the whole time, it looked like that was We Are Farmers game. And it just goes to show how critical the late game really is. You can make some mistakes early game, but as long as you can stay in the game, you know, stick it out, you can make your way back in. And finding that one pick, which ultimately in this case led to 2, can win you a game. That's why you stick it out, right? That's why if you're playing some Storm League or you're playing some QM or in a brawl, you do not give up that game until the core is dead, because you can do it. Off my soapbox now. But that's, I mean, listen, if that's the kind of game that we're gonna have tonight, I'm all for it, because this has been an absolutely fantastic start. And look at that, 6 kills to 4. This was not a high kill count game. These teams were methodical in their performance, in their play, in their macro. That's a fun game. All right, so ReGen is up 1-0. That means that We Are Farmers gets the option of map pick or first pick. And let's see, just checking to see if they had anything here. 6.5 6.5 out of 10. Fair enough. Oh man. All right, so I don't see anything from either of the teams, so I'm just gonna go to a quick commercial real quick so I can grab a quick drink, and we will be right back.
You have finally returned home.
Home? You destroyed my home. Slaughtered innocents. Left peaceful realms in ruins. You broke your promise.
I will not be questioned. Return to the tower at once. Fine.
How could you?
Dead magic. I am beyond that power.
You're wrong. Will fight. I will never stop fighting you. For my family. For the realm. For the Nexus.
Welcome back, everybody, and we are ready and going for game number 2. It's going to be Cursed Hollow. This is the selection of ReGen here, as first pick went over to We Are Farmers, and gonna go ahead and ban out that Zeratul right away. And the Lost Vikings out as well. Too bad we didn't get the Ravenlord as a hero. Yeah, I don't know how they would feel about doing. I mean, obviously, development is what it is now, but I don't know how they would feel about doing the map bosses, I guess. I don't know, like as heroes. I don't know how that would, if they would have cared about that. But anyways, Cursed Hollow, we're going to get rid of Zeratul, Brightwing for We Are Farmers, the Lost Vikings so far for ReGen, and gonna be the Zagara. And I figured that might happen. I mean, Zagara's really strong. Dahaka gonna be the first pick for Popo Joe. And keeping with the global theme, we're gonna see Falstad coming out for Flyest Raven, going into the Anubarak as well. So keeping at least some of the draft the same between both teams here. Keeping that Anubarak and Dahaka. Flyest Raven last game was the Sylvanas. So we'll see what Albatrox, what kind of a DPS we're going to get out of them. Over here, what are we going to get out of this? We saw the Greymane and Blaze, I think, or Greymane Tirana maybe? Last round. It's going to be Hanzo and Rhaegar. Hanzo was banned out last game. So, and it was banned out by We Are Farmers. So I'm sorry, Shy. It's not looking very good for Zagara tonight, at least not in this match. Maybe in the next match. I would guess probably not, but you never know. It could happen. Diablo going to be the third ban from ReGen. Most of the heroes that, in fact, all the heroes that We Are Farmers banned banned last round have either been banned or picked this game. So we're going to get something new from them at least. Stitches was banned last game, as was Stukov. But it's going to be Lucio that's banned out. Is Dahaka that good that they have to prioritize him so high tonight and last night? I don't know, Key. I feel like he's... Personally, I feel like he's pretty good. I don't play him very well. But, I mean, maybe some of those changes gave him some extra utility, right? Being able to do more damage with the Dark Swarm to mercs and monsters and minions and all that stuff. You know, maybe that's worth enough that he's able to provide more to a team. I don't know. We are going to get that Stukov, and this time Greymane switching to other sides. Just want to see Zag shine. I tell you what, I understand that. I've seen Zag shine, usually on the other team when I'm losing. So I get that. Oh, we're gonna get some Varian here along with the Cassia. So I mean, I really like this. Varian is another opportunity for that combination between the drag, the taunt. It's not quite as, I don't think it's as long as a stun from jet propulsion is, but it's also easier. But it means you've got to kill one target on a shorter cooldown though, right? They don't have to wait for a long period of time. This is a relatively short cooldown in taunt. Arthas, however, going to be the solo lane here for ReGen. All right, let's see. We got everybody? We got our Varian and Cassie. We do. Good deal. Well, there is your draft. We've got the Dahaka and Falstad for the globals. Our CC chains between the Hanzo with his dragon arrow, Daka with the drag and the isolation. Cassia could go into the Valkyrie, pull some heroes in. Varian's got that taunt. ReGen, of course, with the Anubarak, the double stun potential there. The thing that I'm concerned about, the thing that gives ReGen maybe a little bit of an edge here, is that Stukov Arthas combo, or the Stukov Anubarak combo, which makes it so that they can lock down a hero and also leave them silenced. So they can't get out of that. But we'll see how this turns out. Game number 2 between We Are Farmers and ReGen. On the right, we've got ReGen. It's going to be Albatox, Greymane? Greymane, maybe?
The battle begins.
I think Albatox on Greymane. Splash on Stukov Voltanian there. It's going to be on the Arthas Aragonas on... Yeah, okay. On the Anubarak, and Flyest Raven on Falstad. Off to the left, we've got We Are Farmers. Hanzo going to be played by Hashmir. We've got Cassia played by Zero. Call Me on Varian. Kurakami is on the Rhaegar there, and Dahaka going to be played by Popo Joe. With Greymane Anubarak up on the top, already able to take out half of that tower. Some real easy, quick damage in that early game with the beetles from Anubarak, and then Greymane, of course, you know, being able to pop into wolf form and get his inner beast going, get that haste. A lot of auto attack damage, so already that half tower. Is it much right now? No, of course not. But in the long run, it doesn't take much to get value out of that. Much the same, we're going to get a little bit of extra damage there onto the Hanzo, Falstad, Dahaka in the bottom lane. Let's show those talents again. I don't think I actually posted those. Oh, we're getting some sprays. Maybe Popo Joe just likes that Dahaka. Maybe that's just a thing that he likes to play, right? Dahaka character, Dahaka sprays. But one of the values of Rhaegar is that he can just go off and take a camp. A little bit less so than he used to be able to, but still a good hero for that. While we've got the Bruiser camp being picked up between Greymane and Stukov over here for ReGen. So each team gonna send out one. First tribute, maybe a little bit more in favor of ReGen. It's in a neutral location, so that's fine for both teams, but ReGen gets the opportunity to send out this siege camp and have that going while they brawl over that first tribute. So we'll see how that turns out. Level 4 coming up soon, and it can't come soon enough for Call Me here. Looking for that taunt. Doesn't have it yet, though. And a lot of value coming out, potentially, from this Bruiser camp in the mid lane. Getting that 20 spell armor with the 3 heroes here, so it's 3v3. There's that level 4 now, so taunt is available. But you can see Varian getting slowed by Stukov. Voltanian trying to walk away. Arthas, not known for his escape mechanics. His best escape is making you walk slower than him. It's the best thing he's got. And with the tribute coming up right now, that'll be up in 30 seconds. We've got Rhaegar working on the Bruiser camp to do the same thing, right? Send that out in the mid lane, while Greymane gonna get that siege camp. He's gonna head right up to top, but we're gonna get the rotation and the kill. It's just coming up here, you guys. You couldn't have waited another second. But first blood going over to ReGen this time. Last game, the first 3 kills going over to We Are Farmers. Is that, I mean, is it superstitious to think maybe first blood is not a positive in our total data set of exactly 1 game? Oh, son of a gun. All right, so things are happening in the bot lane. They're just soaking XP as kills happening everywhere on the map except for where I'm looking. So we're just going to watch top lane here because, you know, it seems to be where the action's at. Anubarak diving out, does not want to get taunted there under that tower. Rhaegar, though, in a little bit of danger potentially if he gets rooted. But it's just the Arthas, so he's able to get away. Falstad and Stukov not in a position to really follow up as they were trying to deal with that Bruiser camp. And both teams now level 7 and will be for this next tribute. And we'll be right back to the game as it appears as though Falstad has left the game. So there you go. Nope, they say. Let's see. Hashmir is the one who paused. Okay, so it's the other team. Uh-oh. Looks like Falstad is in one of the areas of the, well, presumably US, may not be US, but presumably US, getting some storms, so may have lost power, so we'll have to just see how that goes. I know earlier today I lost power briefly in the northeastern US, and it sounds like there's quite a bit going on, so it certainly isn't a big surprise that some of the players might be in an area of the country where they're experiencing some storm activity, some potential power loss, maybe internet loss. So hopefully we'll hear back soon, and hopefully that power outage will just be a short moment so that he can recycle and reset his computer there. Hey, it's good to see you, Brian. Welcome. Just so you know, I'm 30 seconds delayed, so you'll see my hello in a moment. Or maybe 30 moments. And Nomi, welcome. Some friends of mine coming to watch Heroes of the Storm who maybe haven't seen Heroes of the Storm or very little of it. So we are casting today the Storm Division Qualifier. Storm Division is the top tier division of the Nexus Gaming Series, which is an amateur league of Heroes of the Storm. And Storm Division is basically, you qualify for it, right? So the winner of tonight's overall event will be qualified to play in the season for that division. If a team doesn't qualify, they can still certainly participate in the other divisions. Heroic or Nexus, I think, is in there as well. So there you go. Hey, Murda. So it's good to see everybody here. It looks like the power is on, so they're just waiting for everything to come back up. So we'll be back into the game here in, a minute or two or 5 or however long. I guess we'll learn just how much stuff Flyest Raven has to load or how old their computer is by how long it takes for the game to load. But while we're checking this out, let's take a look at the standings, or the bracket rather. So this is where we're at right now. Obviously, we're up 1-0 here in favor of ReGen in this best of 3. We Are Farmers. They defeated Strange Team Comp yesterday 2-0, and then ReGen 2-0 over Vendetta. Over on Taco's channel, they're currently casting Can't Censorship versus Error 404. So Can't Censorship, the one team that had a best of 3 that went 3 games between them and Phoenix Rising Esports, and then of course Error 404 2-0 over Storm Academy. So we've got 2 matches in us tonight. Obviously, like I said, Taco casting the lower half of the bracket there. Good thing I went away. Alice just decided to turn the green screen, so I'll be addressing that in just a second here, or for just a second. Can't have people seeing behind the curtains, right? Like they did a whole thing about that, a whole movie about seeing the wizard behind the curtains. Actually, it's just that the lighting gets all screwed up. Hopefully that's fine. All right. Let's do maps real quick and then we'll come back here. So maps, our first game there was on Battlefield of Eternity. That was selected by We Are Farmers. They opted for map pick instead of first pick. ReGen won that game in quite the comeback. And our bans were out on Dragonshire and Garden of Terror for We Are Farmers. ReGen banned out the Braxis Holdout and Alterac Pass. Yeah, the lighting's still off a little bit. I'll have to fix that at some point. She just wanted to get onto her bed is all. And it's very slightly covered by the screen. Is Alice the wizard? You know what? That would explain a lot. It might actually be that Alice is the wizard. Are you the wizard? Looking at me like I'm absolutely bonkers, and that is completely reasonable. All right, so... Oh, those timestamps don't tell me. It tells me when in the game when it happened, not in real time. So, but it's been about 7 minutes, so they should be coming back on here any moment, so we can get into the game, get the, I don't know, last 80% of this game done. So, just as a reminder, we're coming up on the second tribute. It is on, excuse me, We Are Farmers side, in a very defendable position. We're 7-7, so everybody's even on levels, even on talents. 2 kills in favor of ReGen, but the XP is even right now. So a little bit more minion soak for We Are Farmers. The camps are all done. They're gone. And we're at 351, so still a minute before any of the bosses are going to be coming onto the map. But that should mean that those bosses spawn right around the same time, maybe just a little bit before our third tribute potentially comes in as well. And we don't have any imminent fights, but of course, with a Falstad, with a Dahaka, you never know. They can make things happen. You know, I am but a simple man with a wizard dog, apparently. Still thinks I'm crazy. All right, getting some chat activity, so hopefully they are getting a response now from their player. Hopefully. So what's everybody, it's Thursday night. What's everybody doing tonight? I mean, other than being here, of course. What other things are you all doing? What did you do before you came here? What do you have plans for the rest of the evening? Any fun things going on this weekend? Anything we can talk about that's, you know, fun and exciting? Any good movies coming out? I've heard there's some non-franchise movies, not like no Marvel or things like that, where they're part of a universe, so to speak. Bunch of new movies coming out. I think Stillwater might be one of them. I think that's the Matt Damon one. A couple of others that are coming out. I remember seeing something that said, hey, if you want to encourage people to make new movies as opposed to just within these, you know, narrow definitions, go see these movies this weekend. All right, so it sounds like they're just loading in, so we should have the game going here again soon. Avoided tornadoes. You know what? Good point. Good point. Yeah, northeastern U.S. trying to dodge the real challenges of life there. Just back from tennis. Should probably take a shower, but I'm fair enough. Fair enough, Nomi. Yeah, I don't know. I was modding streamer. Have you heard of Eric Carey and music? You know, I think I have. Quite possibly. Oh, we got our person, so hopefully... Here we go, here we go. Wait, what happened? Okay, good. Oh, the music of the background of my side of things. Oh, there's Falstad flying to base. What? Well, okay. So to explain for anybody who maybe doesn't know, when a player disconnects, their character goes back to their base, which is what Falstad did. Usually they hearth. Usually they just go back, but he decided to take the express route. Yeah, okay. So there's that fight that I mentioned might happen, especially with Falstad going back to base. little bit of an advantage there for We Are Farmers. But here's the tribute available now, but the silence coming out from Stukov, zoning out the rest of We Are Farmers. Just the Varian in the front line here, but he's kind of doing okay. Arthas in the back trying to slow down the rest of We Are Farmers, and okay turned into not okay rather quickly when ReGen was able to split the farmers and just chase down Varian. Again, much like Arthas, doesn't have a ton of disengage there. Potentially at level 10 he can take an ability that allows him to get away, but doesn't have that option yet. Rhaegar trying to help Zero, but Cassia slowed forever by Arthas, or at least as long as his mana bar holds out. I mean, I could understand that. It should remind you of Diablo. Do we have any Diablo heroes in here? Cassia's a Diablo hero. I think that might be the only one. Yeah, I think that's the only one in this particular game, but there are others. And with the boss play here, getting Varian coming in, looking for the Arthas, had the taunt there. And with Arthas, again, split the Varian off to the side, but Varian by himself is going to leave the rest of the team exposed. They're looking for this Rhaegar, and continuing with that Frozen Tempest, Arthas is going to be able to get the root and secure the kill onto Rhaegar. Level 10's now here for ReGen. And the Mighty Gust from Falstad, not enough to secure them that kill, but certainly enough to push them away. And now, with 2 tributes so far for ReGen, this would give them a curse, and there's not a lot that We Are Farmers can do about it, except for defend the curse. For those of you that are new around here, the curse basically makes it so that all these enemy minions have 1 hit point. They just die whenever anything walks up to them and looks at them. So the towers also get shut down. Normally these would shoot at enemy heroes and minions, but during this curse the defenses are completely shut down. Gives a huge advantage to the team with the curse. Here comes the Dragon Arrow with that taunt. Stukov's gonna get that massive shove to push Cassia back, so the big danger one out of it, but Rhaegar's gonna get that ancestral heal out onto Varian, and they're gonna be able to secure that kill. So up in the top lane, Arthas getting a little work with the siege camp, but mid fort will fall to the minions there while that chase was taking place. Might even lose the top fort, although we're gonna get Hanzo jumping over the wall. Probably save it just in the nick of time, it seems like. Should have enough. The real question is, are they considering a boss? It looks like no. They're gonna send heroes to both of the bruiser camps. Maybe not, maybe not. We Are Farmers says, hey, let's get this boss. I think they just assumed that that's where ReGen is at right now. And with all of that time off the map, let's check the vision here. So Falstad's going to see down below here. Speaking of which, Falstad's going to be able to dive in and secure a kill onto the Rhaegar. Holy cow. Varian going to fall up top as well, but being able to get that Rhaegar kill down here was really huge for them. That put a huge delay on the boss. Greymane does a lot of just single target consistent damage, so he's gonna be able to bring this down. And level 13 is available for ReGen now as well. Falstad still kind of hunting around here, gonna force Dahaka to use his essence, get healed back up, but that is a boss available now. We Are Farmers gonna send that out in the bottom lane. ReGen sending theirs out in the top. And as far as these camps go, mid lane, the bruiser camp pushing all the way up to the keep wall. A little bit of damage there, but really it's just going to force We Are Farmers to go back and defend here. Full rotation. I'm not really sure. I feel like that should have been knowledge that Dahaka probably had, and I think he probably did, and just waited a little bit too long to get out of that. Because we saw right here, I think, that he was trying to brush stock away, but couldn't quite make it. So full fort down up in the top lane there. Of course, that was already brought down a bit. Varian is going to be able to watch to make sure that the rotation coming up from below, not going to be able to sneak in and get that Rhaegar. Sonic Arrow providing the vision of the team. Falstad in the mid lane trying to clean up the camp. Might have to be a little careful here. Never mind. No damage to follow it up. Just a Varian looking for something. Double stun coming out onto the Varian, and there's Cassia getting cocooned. And that's the kind of CC I was talking about in that draft. With that double stun, you got the cocoon. We're going to see Cassia shoved all the way back to the tower. Don't think it's enough to save her, as Greymane's going to get that kill. The one tribute picked up by ReGen again. So they're going to be able to just keep pushing. And that second tribute here coming up very quickly. And that's in a positive, favorable side for ReGen. They can defend this more easily. And level 16 is coming up soon. So they're going to have a significant advantage here. At least for a minute, 2 minutes. With the extra talent and potentially leading into a curse. So right now, We Are Farmers has to clean up the map. They've got to just take care of this siege camp, get as much XP as they can, but they can't do it aggressively. The reason that Rhaegar is not killing these is he wants to keep the XP on their side of the map so that they can stay away from ReGen at this point. And ReGen says, that's fine. We'll come up and find somebody up here in the top lane. But keep in mind, this is the exact opposite of what we saw last game, right? We saw, maybe not quite the exact opposite, but close. We saw We Are Farmers in control of the game for right up until this point. Actually, it was about level 16, 17, somewhere in there, that ReGen was able to get a pick. And that, again, we're seeing them do exactly what I said earlier, which is soak the XP on their half of the map. They don't want to get too far away. The farther away they get, the more likely that ReGen can make use of those beetles and Greymane and take down a fort, take down a keep. Showing up in the top lane now means that We Are Farmers can come up, defend their structure. Stun's coming out with the root, no silence though. And this is that third tribute. This gives potential for the curse over to ReGen. So level 16's now here for We Are Farmers. Everything is about as equal as it can possibly be. Varian's going to get caught in the silence route. With Arthas in the back, he's going to get taunted. Ball lightning going out, bouncing all over the place. Curse bullet's going to land, but the Ancestral coming out as well. Big, massive Dragon Arrow there, and isolation out onto Arthas, but Dahaka is cocooned. Varian's gonna be the first to fall, still looking for that Arthas, but the burrow charge coming in onto Dahaka. Falstad's gonna be the one to fall, so 1 for 1 so far, but look at this. Dahaka's just running all over the place. Greymane going down, Arthas going down, Rhaegar going down, and Stukov going down. And Aragona's trying to get away, is gonna be able to burrow charge away Cassia. They're trying to fend, but cannot fend all the way around that little U-turn there. So there you go. This map a little bit harder to take advantage of just that one successful fight. On Battlefield of Eternity, ReGen was able to take that one Immortal and push with it because it's a very small map. But Cursed Hollow is massive. I think it's the biggest map. Maybe not. Warhead Junction might be bigger. So getting one win, one solid victory when you're on the other half of the map doesn't lead to a win. At least not usually. Not at this stage of the game. Vikel calling Murda biased. I can't imagine. Vivanche said that Falstad lagged out. I mean, entirely possible, right? I mean, we talked about the storms in the northeast there, so could be related. Boss going out in the bot lane for We Are Farmers. ReGen going to send their boss out as well, and this is a really favorable moment for ReGen. They've got the boss pushing out. They don't have to fight over this tribute. They don't lose a curse here, and it's on the aggressive side. They can if they want to. And the longer they stall this, the better it is. So that boss will eventually get a keep if left to its own, just to do whatever it wants. Same thing, though, with We Are Farmers boss here. So we see Falstad trying to deal with that. And that's exactly what's going to happen. We Are Farmers is going to pick up their second curse, or tribute rather. So both teams now one tribute away from a curse. ReGen clearing the bottom boss. And it's actually very slightly in favor of We Are Farmers for the XP race to 20. And they've got one lane of XP coming in real close. Bottom lane is going to get pushed up maybe just a little bit. Maybe not. Falstad's not killing anything. All right. Yes, he is. And another lane of XP. So they may be able to get 20 a few moments ahead of ReGen. And depending on how this timing works out, it may be enough to help them secure this critical, really, tribute. Because this is the kind of tribute that if you win a fight, wins the game. Doesn't matter how big the map is. If everything's shut off, you just walk to the core, going through anything in your way. Let's zoom out so we can see. Dahaka's back. Falstad is back. Siege Camp in the bottom lane there. So the longer this goes, the better it is for ReGen. Root going out, missed. Falstad flying in here. Burrow charge used, looking for the Cassia. No Cocoon out just at the moment. But looking at the Dahaka, they get that quick kill. And Varian coming in has the protect for the moment, but being down that one hero, Cassia's in the back as well. Wind tunnel into the corner. Varian can't get out, neither can Rhaegar. And that's going to be one kill. Varian probably going down. Cassia getting just stunned all over the place as we see the rewind there. Can it be a full team wipe? Hanzo's going to jump over the wall, so no. Hanzo's going to be able to get away, but that's going to give the curse over to ReGen. And does Falstad get this? No. Wrong ability. Needed to be the lightning rod. And ReGen going to take out the keep and make their way to the core, and with absolutely nothing to stop them, I don't think there's any way that they don't finish this game right here. Extra keep for good measure. Bring in those minions. They provide a lot of extra siege damage onto the core for when you don't have, I don't know, like a Greymane or something to really shove it down. But there you go. ReGen able to pick up the 2-0 victory over We Are Farmers. Go to my summary. There we go. So that was that was almost a moment. That was almost the reverse of what we saw with Battlefield of Eternity. Could have been the turnaround point there for We Are Farmers, but overall, ReGen gonna be able to secure themselves that victory. And the silence and lockdown onto Dahaka there in that last fight, being able to identify, you know, the placement and the timing. Dahaka's burrow shows up, his brush stock shows up, shows where he's going to be, and puts a target right there, and they were able to turn around and lock him down long enough to get that extra kill, and then shove everybody into the corner with the wind tunnel. Really coordinated there by ReGen to be able to get that victory. But really well played by We Are Farmers. That first game especially was really strong, and obviously they've won you know, some matches here to get to this point. So hopefully they're in a position to qualify with some. I think there's points for the last two slots. I don't know. I don't remember if they're doing that this season or not. So. Okay, so Murda, do you happen to know the status of the other match, if they're done, or if like, are we doing a short break, or what's the plan here? I suppose I could probably pull it up in the amount of time it'll take me to. El Taquito. I assume actually they must not be done because they haven't rated over. I'm assuming they would rate over. Looks like they're going into game number 3. So, okay. So we're gonna have a short bit here while we wait for that. I guess we could probably do. Maybe we can do an interview. Give me 1 second. Actually, you know what? We'll forego that. I don't want to ask a question or anything that might lead into giving away strategies or anything like that, especially going into the finals. So what we'll do is there anything else we can do right now rather than just going to a AFK screen for 20 minutes or something like that? Could we... might be able to pull up. I don't know if it'll work or not. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see. Might be able to pull up the